Welcome back to Investing Talk podcast. Today, we're tackling a question many of you have actually asked us to look into. Is Ondas Holdings a good time to buy now? We'll be breaking down, all the latest information surrounding the company, from its recent market activity to its financials and future prospects. Before we dive in, if you find our analysis helpful, please remember to subscribe, like, and maybe leave us a comment. Your support really does help us bring you more of these insights. And hey, if you're feeling generous, you could consider buying us a coffee. Also, if there's a specific company you'd like us to examine, definitely leave a comment below. We really do love hearing from you.
Yeah, absolutely. And Ondas is, well, it's a fascinating company to look at right now, especially given all the recent buzz. What's interesting here is that Ondas Holdings, they operate in that autonomous drone and private wireless solution space. And they've been making headlines, really, with some pretty significant developments lately.
Exactly. So let's try and unpack this and see what the sources are telling us about whether this is, a compelling opportunity for investors right now.
Okay, so first off, the recent buzz. Our sources highlight some pretty electrifying market activity for Ondas. One report I saw mentioned a 14.48% intraday rally. That pushed its stock to a new 52-week high of $4.48 at one point. I mean, it certainly catches your attention, right?
It absolutely does, yeah. And a surge like that, it rarely happens in a vacuum. There are usually catalysts behind it. And here we're seeing a kind of a confluence of strategic moves and maybe some sector tailwinds pushing things. For instance, there was a $2.7 million order for their Iron Drone Raider counter-UAS systems. Now, that came from a leading defense customer. It points to some real momentum in the defense sector for them.
Okay, $2.7 million, so defense momentum. What else is driving this optimism?
Well, a big one was a substantial public offering, $173 million, including the full exercise of an over-allotment option. That significantly boosted their capital position, gives them a lot more runway.
Right, that's a serious chunk of change. It is, and they've been putting it to use strategically with acquisitions, too. They bought a Paramotion, which enhances their multi-domain autonomy capabilities in robotics. And they also entered an agreement to acquire a majority stake in Smart Precision Optics, or SPO, over in Israel. That expands their electro-optics expertise.
So building out their tech stack through acquisitions makes sense.
Exactly, and partnerships, too. Collaborations, like the one with Rift Dynamics, that's aimed at expanding their European market access. And perhaps one of the more interesting ones is a significant partnership with SafePro Group and Unusual Machines. Ondas actually made a strategic investment there. This collaboration is focused on integrating SafePro's AI-powered computer vision technology, specifically their patented SPOTD system, right into Ondas's drone platforms.
Okay, so that collaboration with SafePro and Unusual Machines, integrating this SPOTD system, what does that actually mean for Ondas in practical terms? Sounds like advanced tech, but what's the impact?
Yeah, good question. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it really means integrating a technology that's already proven. It can rapidly detect over 150 types of threats. We're talking things like landmines, unexploded ordnance, and critically, SafePro's tech isn't just theoretical, it's been battle-tested, particularly in Ukraine.
Wow, okay. Battle-tested is a strong endorsement.
It really is. It offers enhanced support for the U.S. government, military NATO partners, humanitarian efforts globally. So for Ondas, this positions them to really expand their offerings in aerial intelligence. They get these crucial AI capabilities, which is a huge deal in that market.
It definitely seems like a lot of strategic pieces are falling into place then. It makes Ondas Holdings look quite dynamic, very active.
It does paint that picture. But, looking beyond the headlines and the strategic moves, the financial fundamentals often offer a more, let's say, nuanced perspective.
Right, the numbers. Let's get into those. What are they telling us?
So Ondas reported approximately $6.0 million in Q2 2025 revenue. Now, compare that to $1.0 million in Q2 2024.
Wow, okay, that's a six-fold increase. That's pretty dramatic growth.
It is significant growth, yeah. And they also have a strong estimated backlog, stood at about $22.8 million as of June 30, 2025. That gives some visibility into future revenue. Management also reiterated their 2025 revenue guidance, strong guidance, actually of at least $25 million, and they expect most of that to come from their Ondas Autonomous Systems, or OAS, business unit.
Okay, so strong growth, solid backlog, confident guidance. What about the balance sheet health? You mentioned they raised capital.
Exactly. The balance sheet looks much improved. Their cash and equivalents jumped to over $67 million as of June 30th, 2025. That's up quite a bit from $30 million at the end of 2024. And importantly, They significantly reduced their convertible notes outstanding, down to just $5.4 million from over $46 million at the end of last year.
So serious deleveraging. That improves their short-term picture quite a bit.
Definitely, it indicates much better short-term solvency.
Okay, those numbers do sound promising. I mean, especially that revenue growth and the reduced debt. But what does this all mean for profitability? Are they actually making money yet?
And that, right there, raises the crucial question. While the growth is clearly evident, quite impressive actually, our sources indicate there's been no explicit net profit or margin disclosed recently. This strongly suggests Ondas is still primarily in a growth and investment phase. They're scaling, they're expanding, but they're not yet consistently profitable.
So burning cash to grow, essentially.
That's likely the situation, yes, which means traditional price to earnings, or PE ratios, aren't really meaningful here. You can't calculate a PE on negative earnings. But looking at other metrics, price to sales, PS, is estimated somewhere between 2x to 3x. Price to book, PB, between 1.5x and 2.5x. Now, these are broadly in line with, maybe slightly above, some small-cap peers. It reflects the growth potential, sure, but also the inherent risk of that unproven profitability. The company seems valued on its growth story, really. Future upside hinges on keeping that revenue momentum going and, crucially, showing some margin improvement down the line.
Right. So a very strong focus on growth and expansion, clearly visible in the numbers and strategy, but profitability remains that big question mark for the future. You're betting on the potential.
Precisely. Now, let's maybe shift gears and look at the technicals, the stock chart itself. This can sometimes tell a complex story, especially with a stock as volatile as Ondas Holdings seems to be. During that recent surge we mentioned, the MACD indicator was bullish, 0.461. The RSI, the Relative Strength Index, was up at 67.7, which typically signals conditions approaching overbought. The stock was also trading near its upper Bollinger Band, around $4.59. Again, suggesting it might have been a bit overextended, maybe ripe for a pullback, or potentially continuing the rally. Very short-term signals, though.
Okay, so those indicators pointed to strong short-term momentum at the time of the surge. But you said complex story. What's the other side of that coin? Did it last?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting, actually. One source we looked at performed a backtest, and it highlights that while that big intraday surge, the 14%er on August 10th, was significant, it didn't translate into sustained long-term growth. The stock price apparently peaked at $3.95 in pre-market trading on August 12th. But just 2 days later, by August 14th, it had only increased by about 5% compared to where it was before the surge started.
Oh, wow. So a quick spike and then not much follow through.
Pretty much. It suggests that surge was perhaps more stock-specific, maybe driven by high-volume, unclear order flow dynamics. Yeah. Things like algorithmic trading or maybe even a short squeeze rather than purely fundamental factors taking hold.
Okay, that's a really important nuance. What about the broader technical picture more recently?
Looking at analysis from the end of August, it paints a picture of just high volatility, plain and simple. The stock has been trading in a pretty broad range, between 0.80 and 80 cents and $1.50 per share over the past month or so. Key resistance seems to be near that $1.40, $1.50 level, with support down around 89 cents, 98 cents. The 50-day moving average was hovering near $1.10, indicating maybe some slight short-term positive momentum, and the RSI was sort of middling between 50 and 60, suggesting neither consistently overbought nor oversold conditions, just volatile.
So we're seeing these conflicting signals then. A very quick, dramatic surge that didn't really stick, alongside just ongoing high volatility within a wide range. It really emphasizes why you need to look at multiple data points, especially for these microcap growth stocks, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Sentiment can turn on a dime, and you need more than just one day's price action to make a decision.
Okay, so given all of this, the growth, the strategy, the financials, the volatility, let's talk about the risks. What are the key potential pitfalls investors need to be aware of here?
Right. Risk assessment is crucial. First off, there's significant execution risk. Ondas is juggling a lot. They need to successfully integrate those new acquisitions, Apparel Motion and Smart Precision Optics. It's never guaranteed. And they have to convert that $22.8 million backlog into actual revenue and eventually profit. Any slip-ups there could be problematic.
Makes sense. Integration is always tricky. What else?
The profitability concerns we touched on, they're still operating at a net loss. Continued growth has to lead to better margins eventually. Otherwise, they might need to raise more capital, which could dilute shareholders. Then there's potential customer concentration. Landing big industrial or government contracts is great, but they can be lumpy. Relying on a few large clients creates volatility if one gets delayed or canceled. Of course, there's competition. Ondas isn't alone. They face competition from larger, more established wireless networking and drone companies, many with deeper pockets.
And the microcap nature itself.
Exactly. Microcap volatility is inherent. The share price can swing wildly, and liquidity might be limited, meaning it could be hard to buy or sell large amounts without moving the price yourself. And finally, macro sensitivity. Their performance depends on broader factors like industrial spending, government funding levels, and the regulatory environment, things outside their direct control.
That's a pretty comprehensive list of challenges. Definitely things for potential investors to weigh carefully. So putting it all together, the good, the bad, the volatile, what's the overall investment thesis our sources seem to present for Ondas Holdings?
Well, one analysis we saw synthesized this into an overall rating of 5 out of 10, basically right down the middle, neutral. It acknowledges the strong points. The preliminary revenue growth, the backlog expansion, the improved balance sheet, the strategic momentum from acquisitions and partnerships, all positive. But these are tempered significantly by the lack of consistent profitability, the highly volatile microcap trading environment, and those execution risks we just discussed. Also noted was that insiders seem to be holding their shares, but not aggressively buying more, which might suggest confidence, but perhaps not a screaming buy signal from their perspective right now. The company's still building that commercial scale traction.
A 5 out of 10. Okay. So what does this mean for you, the listener, particularly thinking about an investment horizon? Is this more of a short-term play or a long-term hold?
Based on that analysis, it suggests Ondas Holdings is likely best suited for short-term, high-risk trading. For investors looking to potentially capitalize on momentum from news flow or those revenue growth spikes, maybe. If you have a high tolerance for risk and understand volatile microcaps. However, it's explicitly not recommended for conservative long-term investment at this stage. Not until there's a much clearer, demonstrated path to profitability, and we can see how well those acquisitions are actually integrating and contributing to the bottom line. Long-term investors especially might want to wait on the sidelines for more earnings visibility and proof of sustainable operations.
So there you have it. Ondas Holdings really presents this complex picture, doesn't it? Rapid growth, exciting strategic moves, but balanced by some pretty significant financial hurdles and market risks.
It's a textbook example, really, of how quickly sentiment can shift in these markets and why it's so vital to look past the initial headlines. You have to dig into the fundamentals, the technicals, and importantly, the potential downsides.
Absolutely. So as you consider Ondas Holdings yourself, maybe the provocative thought to leave you with is this. In today's market, which often heavily rewards innovation and sheer growth, how much weight should you give to that potential versus proven, consistent profitability, especially when dealing with this level of volatility? Is that promise of future market leadership, however exciting it seems, enough to outweigh the current lack of earnings and the inherent risks involved? Something to mull over. Thank you for joining us for this analysis today. We really hope this breakdown helps you make more informed decisions. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment if you found this useful. And we'll be back next time with another company analysis.